Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Rectified Podcast. My guest today is Rachaelle Rempe, founder of Auraiha Beauty, which is an affordable, inclusive, and effective skincare brand with clean ingredients. Rachaelle, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Rachaelle, you left Canada, you went to the US, you played soccer, but then you came back, you worked in design, and now you have a skincare brand. Your journey, like many entrepreneurs on this podcast, is non-linear. Tell us a little bit more about how you went from soccer to skincare.
When I was playing soccer, I actually had a lot of acne. And obviously, when you're a college student, you don't have a lot of money to go to the store and get expensive products or
Yeah.
go to any dermatologists that can really give you something that's an expensive product to purchase.
Hmm.
So in college, I was kind of out of luck for that and was just trying to buy any type of products that might help my skin. And so I really started from the inside out, which was changing my diet, eating better foods, and drinking more water. But then I really wanted to explore a different route for skincare and create products that were really affordable for everyone, that were really inclusive, and just create a really happy community that helped aid with any skincare issues that people had.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you go from soccer to design? Like the
So
transition. Tell us a little bit more about
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
story.
So I got a soccer scholarship to a D1 university in the United States called
Hmm.
Oregon State. And
Okay.
from there, my coaches were amazing and they pushed me to find different avenues for my creativity because they always saw me playing with makeup, doing my teammates' makeup, everything like that. So they said, "Hey, take this fashion design program. You
Yeah.
might really like it." So I took
Oh,
the first program and course from Oregon State, and it really just made me want to be in design or in
mm,
product development in general for clothing companies. So from there, I actually did transfer from Oregon State to a smaller art school on a soccer scholarship still, and um, do my entire BFA Bachelor of Fine Arts under design and product development.
yeah.
So from product development, I was able to land my first job at Ralph Lauren in Manhattan. And then from Manhattan, I stayed there for about 7 years, working for
Mm,
Ralph Lauren. And then I moved to a smaller company that was really a big box company. So we worked with Costco, Burlington,
yeah.
Sam's Club, all the big clubs basically in the States. And then the pandemic hit, and I
Yeah.
decided to move back to Canada, where I immediately landed a role with Canadian Tire. So
Yeah.
Canadian Tire, as everyone knows, is like the biggest retailer in Canada.
Mm,
So I was a product development manager there for about 3.5 years. And then from the pandemic and doing all of my product development with Canadian Tire, I was able to source a manufacturer, source a chemist, and source
mm,
my packaging and bottling and everything for my skincare brand. So I kind of built my brand outside of my 9 to 5 job,
yeah.
which took endless hours. I was getting up
Yeah.
early in the morning, doing all of the email correspondence before work, after work. I would race to the gym and then get back, and I probably worked till 10 or 11 at night on the brand. I lucked out a lot because I came from fashion design.
Yeah.
So I knew a lot of creative people to create photo shoots, packaging
Mm.
images. So I really had a leg up creatively. Um, so that's basically how I went from soccer to my brand.
There's a lot of smaller or new clean brands that are out there. So, what makes Oraya different than anything else that we've seen on the market?
I think there's room for all of us. I
Mm,
think it's always, oh well, how are you better than this person? It is about what my formulas bring to different skin types, but skincare is so subjective that I really think it's a positive
yeah.
environment for everyone. There are so many different brands that bring such different sides to the equation that people can find any product they want. But specifically for us, it's the sustainability, it's the
Hmm.
eco-friendly, it's the formulas that are EWG verified. So EWG
Okay.
is an
Yeah.
environmental working group formulation approval standard in the United States. So we have our approvals from them, um,
Yeah.
certifying us as a clean beauty um, brand, which
Mm.
I think sets us apart, but also us being so budget friendly
Yeah.
um, is also another avenue that makes us different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So you created the brand, you launched it online, so it's only available online now. Who was your first client who's not like a family or friend?
My first ever sale, basically, I think I remember. Yeah. So off right when I started on Shopify was my first sale was a woman from India, which I was blown away.
Wow.
I had no idea how she found
Yeah.
me. She's been a returning customer. It's been a really, really great experience. Obviously, you can't just reach out to people randomly, but we always say thank you notes and
Yeah.
thank you emails and stuff like that. But that was really my first Shopify experience is
Mm.
getting a sale from India.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Mhm.
First of all, how did they find you? Second of all, with skincare and makeup and all of these products, there's a lot of regulations. Like every country, they want certain labels, they want certain ingredients. Some things are banned, especially Europe. It's very difficult. You
Yeah.
didn't have any issue with India?
Well, so you can, from my Shopify site, you can purchase from anywhere in the world.
Okay.
But I have the European labeling,
Okay.
and the French labeling. So the Canada is very vigorous on what they can do
Yeah.
and do not allow. So we're
Yes.
much more regulated than the United States.
Yes.
So with even me being on Amazon Canada, we have they check my manufacturer, they check the obviously all the expiration dates, they check every ounce of labeling that
Yeah.
comes across on my personal brand feed and on the box.
Yes, I know. I've seen that. I've seen that often with people I work with, or people I talk to on the podcast. And it's always a lot of issues with food, with skincare. There's a lot of
Mhm.
things that should be on the label. Europe is like has their own strict
Yeah.
stuff, and Canada is like very strict compared to the US. So
Mhm.
I see that a lot. Um, so, Rachel, let's dive into marketing a little bit. So,
Absolutely.
you launched the website, but nobody knows who you are or anything about you. So,
Yeah.
how are you spreading the word around your brand?
So when I started my brand, you know, everybody makes mistakes when they
Yeah.
first start out their company. So I'll tell you all the mistakes I made and how it's gotten better. So
Okay.
when I first started my brand, I knew how to product develop anything. I can literally
Mm,
make anything if you ask me to. I know manufacturers all around the world, from China, Bangladesh to um, Brazil. Like I
yeah.
know anyone and everyone, but with marketing, it wasn't my strong suit at all. I didn't really know what PR meant. I didn't really know what like ad spend was on
Mm,
Amazon. So I really struggled with that with the first year of business, honestly,
yeah.
because we're 2 years old now, but I didn't run any paid advertisement until about 6 months ago.
Okay.
So it was tough. What I did was I spent a lot of money on PR teams
Hmm.
that didn't they worked, but not to what I thought would generate revenue. So that's a
Okay.
difference is
Yeah.
the PR teams got me noticed in a couple of great magazines or a couple of gift guides, but that doesn't necessarily turn to sales or generating sales.
True.
So it's really hard to gauge your growth off of PR teams. So I really, in the last 6 months, like I said, I pivoted to focusing a lot on Amazon.
Mm.
And from there, I've been able to run ads in the US and almost triple my sales, which has been a game
Wow. Yeah.
changer for my business. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Amazon, it's a place where they already have their clients. And if they're able to find you, through the ads or whatever it is that all the techniques that you can do on Amazon, it's a great place to start. Um,
Absolutely.
It's interesting what you said about PR. Like people always want to go there. They're like, oh my God, I want to be in Vogue and I want to be in Bazaar and I want to be here and there.
Yeah,
But that just like makes your brand legitimate. Like, oh my God, she was in Vogue. Okay, so she's
mhm,
legit.
yeah,
But that's it. Like it won't bring this influx of sales. It's just like the way I see it is something that complements all the other efforts that you're doing. Is that what happened with
absolutely.
you?
Yeah, I agree, and, like, the PR teams that I worked with are amazing. I'd recommend them to
Mm,
my friends. I talk about them a lot. They got me noticed in Style Canada. They got me
mhm.
noticed in British Vogue. I was
Yeah,
mentioned in a couple of, Birdie and Refinery in the United States. So, I think that with a product-based brand, having that type of backing
yeah,
from, major magazines and corporations like that is great for investors. I think
true.
investors see that as a positive, but in a sales
Mm,
revenue generating sales,
yeah,
it's really for me gift guides, micro influencers, which are more like
yeah.
moms saying, "Hey, like I bought this for Christmas or Thanksgiving and it was
Mm,
great." And they have about 10,000 followers, but you
yeah,
can literally sell out of product when
yeah,
you have
yeah.
someone
Yes.
organic giving your products reviews.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's always the case. Like at the beginning, if you don't have enough money, well, obviously everybody's like that. You don't have the
Yeah.
funds, you don't have enough money. The best way to go is to try to do things in a more organic way, um, focus on social media. But PR is a good thing, but don't like if you only have $1,000, don't give it to PR at the beginning,
Yeah, I
Like
made that
later,
mistake. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
definitely made
yeah.
that mistake. If I had invested my money in ad spend instead of
Mm,
PR, I would be able to afford PR right now and probably
exactly.
get different types of traction.
Mm,
I am working with a small PR team right now, but
okay.
it's a one woman show and
Mm,
she's helping us with our next product.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what's going on with that.
That's pretty interesting what you're saying, and we all fall into the same trap. And I see it often because at the beginning you just want to be known and like
Yeah.
you want to be out there, and it's like a
Mhm.
big achievement to be in some of those magazines.
Yeah.
Are you active on social media? Do you create content on social media?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to be doing more content for myself, like get ready with me's,
Mm,
day in the life, all of that kind of stuff. So I mostly deal with TikTok because I find
yeah,
TikTok the funnest app to be on. I
yeah.
can create and talk about anything on there, and people just listen to
Mm,
me for 30 seconds to a minute and
yeah.
they move on. Um, what I have done to make the TikTok a little bit more relatable was not just pushing my brand and saying, oh, using
Mm,
this product does X, Y, and Z. This is
yeah.
why this product is great. I do it more now like, hey, get ready with me to go for dinner with my aunt.
Mm.
And I get ready and
More
yeah,
real.
more real,
Yeah,
organic, and that's what I found to be the biggest,
yeah.
hit from my brand is how organic, marketing is. So
Agree.
that's what
Yeah.
I do is strictly organic marketing. The only type of ad spend I do is on Amazon.
Mhm. I totally agree with your strategy. Nowadays, pushing products on social media, even if it's not TikTok, the same is applying to Instagram
Yeah,
nowadays. You can't just like post pictures of your products anymore and have people buy it. You need to
yeah,
have a reason for these people to follow you. Why are they following you? Maybe you're showing them how you're using your product or what it's
yeah,
doing to your skin or whatever. They should have some sort of interest in you and your
yeah,
brand so that they're following you. Things have completely changed, and I think in on TikTok you sort of cracked the code, which is pretty amazing. Let's talk about the other side of it, the financial part of it.
cover that.
Um, when you started, did you finance everything yourself? Did you use like your own savings? Like, how did you go about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be transparent as possible.
Yes.
I, bootlegged everything. I
Hmm.
was paid for every ounce. I did blow out my savings account, which
Hmm.
I don't regret. I will never regret that. My brand is beautiful. I've seen the growth on Amazon. I've seen um, where I can cut costs
Yeah.
financially. If I were to ever build another business, I know exactly where I would and would not spend my money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also work a 9 to 5.
Okay.
So I'm also saving up what I
Yeah.
spent into the brand, and the brand is now generating more revenue. So I feel like it's only positive and only up from
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
was, where I spent my savings
Yes.
on it. So yeah.
You're
Hmm.
reinvesting everything you're making in your own business until it's like way up there, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. What is the vision that you have for your brand in the future? Like when it goes really big, I don't know if you thought about this, but I'm just curious. Did you think about if you want to get more investors and more funds and make it like this multi-million dollar brand or something? Or do you just want to keep it like this small indie brand, like
Yeah.
the small brand that everybody can relate to its owner and the product and stuff?
Um, I think I'd like to be honest and say that,
Yeah.
of course, I'd love to be an indie brand, but I know that I can scale.
Mm-hmm.
I have manufacturers and bottle timelines all set up to the point where I know how to scale a business because all I've been doing in my 9 to 5 job is scaling businesses, growing Canadian Tires Mark's brand into from $11 million to $14 million. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to build programs and portfolios really well just because of what I do on my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So my plan would be for the brand is making it a powerhouse on Amazon, I think is the first and foremost thing to
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on because Amazon has completely changed the way I ship, the how fast my customers get
Yeah.
their products, and the return that I get in the ad spend. So I think becoming a really great
Mhm.
Amazon brand is a really big focus for me, and getting the brand out there to the point where we can move into brick and mortar. I've been in one store locally, which has
Mhm.
been amazing experience because I get to know the owner of the store and all of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But branching out into a Sephora or a Shoppers Drug Mart or a London
Yeah.
Drugs would be great because then it's really accessible to everyone and
Mm.
they don't have to
Yeah.
only order it online.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a question. It
Mm.
might be a little bit annoying, but you're
No, it's fine.
talking a lot about Amazon
Mhm.
and your brand is sustainable. That's what it says, right? So there's a lot of talk about Amazon being not sustainable, all of those things,
Mhm.
especially around Black Friday and all of the things that are happening, the climate, everything,
Right.
environmental issues. um how are you going to like make
Manage.
sure that you're
Yeah.
sustainable and still be on Amazon and doing this dream of yours?
Yeah, so I think Amazon is more USA based. So my
Yeah.
products within the US, it's more cost effective, it's less fuel, it's a lot less eco wise for me to send 120 units to Amazon and have them distribute than me individually packing and shipping um,
Yeah.
from Canada. It's just more
Mm.
cost effective and fuel effective for
Yeah.
everybody. So I think I'd have to put my customers first with that so that they can get their products faster. Because at the end of the day, my products are sustainable. They
Yeah.
have biodegradable ingredients. All the packaging is reuse, recycle,
Yeah.
and biodegradable. So I brought my products just to show you. So
Yes.
everything on here is recycled plastic, recycled
Yeah.
label, and even
Yeah.
the adhesive that is used on the label is water activated.
All
So
right.
it's easily biodegradable. So I think
Mhm.
that kind of helps.
Yeah, and
But
offsets,
yeah, and offsets what's
offsets.
going on with Amazon, but we still ship from our
Mm.
website
Yeah.
throughout Canada and the rest of the world.
Mhm.
It's just it takes longer, and
Yeah.
I the most complaints that I've received is, "Hey, the product's taking too long to get to me."
Yeah, and I know nowadays consumers have a very high standard in terms of fast shipping and all of the things that revolve
Yeah,
around that. And it's because we're used to like the big brands who have like all the facilities to do that,
yeah,
and because of Amazon because they did 1 day shipping and all of those things with Prime, etc. So the smaller brands are really struggling with that because if you're a small brand, first of all, you have very high shipping costs. You don't have enough volume to get like the cheaper fees. Um, Canada Post is very expensive.
so
We
expensive.
know that. So
Mhm.
you're competing with these giants and you want to serve them the fastest way possible, but you don't have the means and the client is very demanding. So I do believe, like you're saying, Amazon is somehow making things easier for the smaller brands. Like you just open a storefront and
Mhm.
then people will find you and then you'll ship through them in a very fast way using like this giant facilities and in their everything they have in their systems. So I do think it's a good strategy, and I do think that the client is very demanding. They don't
Yeah,
understand the smaller brand. I'm sure, yeah,
yeah,
as you said, it's the first complaint that you're getting. Is it better now with when you have Amazon? Are you getting less and less bad reviews or
yeah,
complaints?
yeah, so that was really the only complaints from my US customers. They said, "Hey, we're
Mm,
getting our packages in 2 weeks, and the cost of shipping is costing my customer just as
yeah,
the same amount as my product cost," which makes
true.
no sense when they can go to Amazon and pay $2 in shipping.
Mm,
So, I have to put my customers first. They have
of
to get my
course.
products faster, and that's been the way to do it, and my sales have tripled, so
Yeah.
it's it's night and day for a business as small as mine. It was
Mm,
either I'm not gonna make it or
yeah.
I change my shipping strategy and put my customer first.
Mm,
So it's honestly it's made me be able to consider branching out on the product line, extending more ads all over the world,
yeah.
and even opening up storefronts in the UK and Australia.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. All right. Rachel, we're towards the end of this
Yeah.
episode, and I usually ask my guests a series of 3 questions. Are you
Okay.
ready?
I am ready.
How would your friends describe what you do for a living?
Um, I say they would say a lot of fun, hardworking, and never giving up.
Awesome. What is the one thing that your product did for a client that you didn't expect?
It helps them with their sunburn. The spray helped
Oh,
ease my client's sunburn, which I never thought someone would use it as kind of
mm,
because it has aloe vera in it. And they
yes.
said it
Oh,
was
yeah. That's why.
so soothing on the skin. So I was
Yeah.
pleasantly
Love
surprised with
that.
that one. Yeah.
Love that. The last question, is there a book that changed your life that you can share with our audience?
Um, I'm into sci-fi, so I don't think it's really
Mm.
a a book. I would say I'm more
It-
of a movie person.
yeah, a movie, a podcast, anything that was like, oh my God, and it changed some perspective that you have.
I would say it's not coming to mind right now. What is that movie? I don't know. I watch so many movies, but I would say because I'm into sci-fi and I'm into fantasy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm I would say have to go with a classic Lord of the Rings or something like that. Is thinking out of the box.
yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
that like just making those types of dreams come into reality because the author of those books
Yeah,
created a world out of nothing. So I would
true.
say that that is the
Mm,
biggest point for me is making something out of absolutely nothing.
that's amazing. Rachel, tell us where we can find your product and, all the details.
Oh, okay. So you can find my products on Amazon Canada or Amazon.com and Auraiha.com.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you can purchase all of our products.
Perfect, perfect. We're
Yeah.
going to link to everything in the description of the podcast. Thank you,
Thank
Rachel, for
you.
being a guest, and I'll be back next week with a new episode.